The price of Bitcoin on the daily term time frame, no, this is a single hour time frame, is in at 6,373. Maybe it might get out of this 18 average. It's a nice setup. I'm not going to go over much within it. I'd like to welcome you to the crypto day morning. Instead of saying what the date is, I'm actually going to display it as of this moment. And like always, everything is within your own risk and reward. And this is relatively boring. I mean, all these numbers are close to 0, 1, 2, 3%. So I haven't made a trade in well over a half a day. Nothing throughout my sleeping time. And that's the first time in a long time that has happened. Bitcoin, we can see here, is in at 63.76. However, the comments have been very active. As of when I made a screenshot of this video, and that was about 3-4 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. I haven't calculated such. Although this video, I'm going to calculate how long it's going to take me to make this video, because I will pause the tape, get the data that I need, and so on and so forth. Anyway, comment number 1. My name is Craig Grant. This is my Bitcoin wallet. I know it's not Craig Grant. I've only once ever talked to Craig Grant, at least via Skype. I did so, I think it was in 2010, probably around that time. And I was doing a lot of spiritual style videos, and as was he. So yeah, I was in a 3-way conversation with another person for a couple hours on one Saturday or Sunday late morning. And then I was surprised about, I don't know, 9 months ago, 10 months ago, to actually search that he was doing, or I was seen on another website, Steam, that he was popular in crypto. So I was like, man, I remember that guy. But anyway, I don't think your comment was approved. I haven't checked, but airdrop, I'm surprised I'm even seeing it here. That should have been listed as bad word, because I made airdrop not allowed to be on my comments. And then I get a few commenters that are regulars, or some are ones that appreciate the videos, and that's what every channel has. You have a rate of so many viewers. A small few of them are the ones that are the big fans. Thank you, Chris, Anne as well. Tim does a lot of commenting, and there's like probably a good 9, 10, 12 others, obviously not shown amongst this one. Lots of people are leaving or have left. You know what? I think so. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be losing on the way down. But when I explain the trading game to people, and I'm trying to explain winners and losers, this is it's hard to explain that. But really, this is the one way of looking at it. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to take the losses, and gambling. For every winner, there has to be a loser. Tim, I've been doing a lot of Dow charts recently. Convert Dow chart to 1 year equals 1 month, but I'll get into that in a little bit. I've been doing a lot of work, as Anna has been stating, and one of the things I was mentioning is like a pay-per-view content at very low prices. And this one says, no one is going to pay to watch videos, as he's just saying. I watch all your videos, but the amount of free info out there is overwhelming. As far as views are concerned, I really don't care about the numbers. I've given up a long time ago, well before the crypto game even, and trying to even find strategies to gain viewers. It's just not worth it. And for myself, I am not motivated to put out amazing content, which I'm going to explain. And as far as the free content, yeah, it's overwhelming how little there is, at least in the style of content in which I provide. I think anyway. I don't watch a lot of these other channels, so maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think there's that many similar channels really towards mine. I mean, one perfect example would be, okay, Dow Jones Part 2 is a half hour. Half hour for Part 1. And you know what? Part 3 is probably going to be a half an hour. LSK, 22 minutes, 25 minutes, 16 minutes. And this one's probably going to be decently long too. It's probably going to be well after 9:30 when I'm done. See, if I were to make this 60 minutes down to, and good in context, say 20, and make this 22 to like 14, 13, it would take me twice the time, maybe even longer, to do such. And I've already done a lot of stalling in this video, doing the intro, to make this not such a short video, which is what I'm going to do in time before I actually get into the real content. I do have ideas, and sort of neither of these have to do with cryptos, but the whole world will be soon. Two ideas I have that can do very well in business. Number one, defeat Vince McMahon. He is he's a billionaire, or at least a high 9-digit player in this game, and he is the CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment. He has been the monopoly owner. He's been the king of this game since he pretty much took over as, we'll call him a young child, back in the late 70s, but mainly early 1980s. I've actually thought of an idea that I'm thinking, you know what, if you had around, and I don't even just $1 million, $2 million minimum, I think I could actually put him in a lot of pressure that I don't think he would be able to beat, basically. I'll explain that later on, actually. Number two, it's a website. It's an idea that doesn't exist, sorta. I remember John Madden in football saying, oh, it's a copycat league. No, it's a copycat world, big time. When I look at an example, you got the Model T car and you copy it to make it better, and look at the cars today. Basically, I am copying the idea of online gaming, a game that really doesn't exist much on the internet. That's a fun strategic game, and a gambling, sort of like games like poker and other such, but doing a little bit of twist that I think improve it as well. But it's only going to cost like under 50 grand, so I'm actually going to do it. However, strategically, I need the crypto prices to probably be doing decently, not only for the investments, but I need people well into cryptos to fund, of course, and be participants. Because when I start this, I need to start off in a bang, in the sense that I want to have a decent amount of people come immediately. And I got a strategy for that. Now, the only people early on that I would need to talk to would probably be that of computer programmers, and that would be the vast majority of the 50,000 cost. Okay, so the intro is under 8 minutes. The rest of the video won't be long in real duration time, because I'm going to use a strategic level to make it so that it's not too long. As far as what time it is at this level, it is 9:21 a.m. Eastern time. Let's now get on with the video. And the altcoin, which I did not put in the comments or the title, is CMT. Against Bitcoin, I have Fibonacci key levels in place, and I'm looking at the chart from the 2018 highs through the April lows. The price action after falling from the Bitcoin handle against Binance. Okay. This is where I didn't want to start off. I wanted to actually start off against Bitcoin, so let's move it to that chart now. And this is one that I was getting into even closer to this, probably around the 4,000 area. I don't remember exactly where. But I've been buying this on the way down, as I was stating within the outset of such. Now, I don't have any Fibonacci lines on here because of the fact that I was only using Bitcoin to buy some on the way down, and then I switched it to that of the Binance exchange, and that's where I was going to follow through next within. But before we do that, I'm going to show some key levels. First would be the 2871, but I just put it on the 75. This was an area in which did not find support at this level. We're looking at Fibonacci from this low to this high. It had a pierce above if it did, as your closest thing to looking at it towards it. But it did break well below it. But its next Fibonacci level, which is the 61.8% down level. It's 1784. So this is a situation in which if you were to buy order here, well, you would have got it a little bit lower. So I was unable to get this buy. And I just manually bought this on the way down. The buy orders didn't work for me. But I realize as it's playing through now that if this correctionary move within the 18 doesn't work, well then I'm expecting a large pierce below 17. And I say that because of how large this, or how well this came into the 50% retracement. That's not that big of a move to get to 1777. And if it were to go lower, it'd be about 1450. I think this will work within the general way of the crypto market. If they all fall, this will fall with it down towards such. And when they're all ready to go, like I've said so many times, cryptos just go. When looking at this on a 400-minute time frame, it has managed to have this move, break above the resistance, and then start to, well, hasn't pulled back yet, but how this reacts with the newly rising 18 is going to be the big indication. I want to see one of two things. One, I just go way up because that's what they do when they're ready to go, but show me that this can correct well within the 18, establish a level of resistance. It attempted to establish a level at 2550. It didn't do well, and this is strong saying such because it only spent a couple of periods here. And then now it's trying to do so at 27. And 28 to 3000 is an ideal place to establish resistance if it wants to there as well. But I want to see some sort of movement, get to the 18, have a couple hits at it, and just show me a bullish pattern of something that would indicate a bullish move. Those are the kinds of things that I look for in trying to find that of a reversal. And the last place in which I traded this cross would have been June 18th, buying at 2400. And I just was at the point where I just manually bought. I would have bought some here, but it's hard to find it on the Binance exchange. I searched from April, and my first trade is June 18th. I bought a little bit, and so I don't know where all my previous trades were before. As I searched theta to alt crossings, and yeah, June 18, 2400, and then moving on to Binance, my trades since then. On June the 20th, I bought at the 933 handle, which would seem to appear to be at this bottom. This is Cyber Miles against Binance. That looks right. And I've actually figured it out. I'm looking at the theta charts, or the theta data. So therefore, this is a spot where if I was making a professional video, stop, redo, and I'm not going to do that here. However, as far as theta is concerned, this is what I was looking at. I'm like, okay, buy 93 and buy 76. Okay. And I'm looking here, but where's 76? I mean, 93, that looks like the bottom. That was not a bottom buy for me, but okay, let's now redo this. Go back to my last buy on CMT against Bitcoin. And we're doing so at 9:35 a.m. Eastern Time. And my buys were 35, 28, and 21. So I would have bought, I'm not quick go through it too in detail, somewhere here. 28. I guess within somewhere there. And then 21, pretty much at the bottom. So that has been the last trades that I've made on this. I talked about it from the open, and I've only sold it just one time. And it was in at here. You know, I was planning on doing theta actually, And then I just went into CMT because I was looking at it. It was in a very decent up mode. So this is where I'm like, yeah, totally redo this. Redo that long intro that I really don't want to do again. Or at least get some sort of video software where I can crop that first part and then redo everything from that intro. And I don't want to do that either. So I'm not going to do the theta one. But generally speaking, how it was just more trades than this one was at. But the whole point for me is with these coins, I'm expecting to have wild volatile moves keep on working in a nice choppy up and down action. This went from 005 to single 03 in just a 1 month or so rally. 8x gain. Is it possible that this thing can go up and have a 20, 80, 200x gain? Yeah. As I've seen so many of the other cryptos do it. Am I guaranteeing it's going to do it? No. Do I know it's going to do it? No. But I realize that the strategy that I have, I can keep on playing the swings up and down. If the market does this type of long-term sideways action, I'll have nice profit. If it goes way up, hey, others will have better profits than me, at least on a per entry price level or ratio. But I won't do as well because I'll have a lot less of these coins when the price is 6, 7, 8 times higher as I continuously sell in the uptrends. And even if it comes into a downtrend, like something like this, and then it has a nice little rally, and then it just keeps doing this and has these little spikes and it just goes down, oh, I'm going to profit on markets that move like that as well. So that's the whole strategy for me, playing the numbers game. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.